Chapter 3, Our Respiratory System. Learning Objectives. 1. The respiratory organ. 2. Function of these organs. 3. Spirometer. Let me answer. The respiratory system is a network of organs and tissues that help you breathe. It includes your airways, lungs and blood vessel. What else do you understand about the respiratory system in the body? Breathing. Respiratory system consists of nostrils, nasal cavity, larynx, trachea, bronchi, lungs, alveoli. Respiration. Respiration in human being is called breathing or cellular respiration. Our nose and mouth are the gateway to our respiratory system. When a human breathes through nose, the air passes through mouth and goes to the trachea. The trachea is the passageway leading to the lungs, and the epiglottis guards to trachea that food cannot get down it. Every time you keep breathing in and out, whether you are awake or asleep. The air we inhale is the combination of these gases: oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, water vapors, dust, and other particles. Breathing system. Breathing is a physical movement associated with the gaseous exchange. When we breathe in, the air we inhale passes through a system of organs known as the respiratory system. This system consists of nostril, nasal cavity, larynx, trachea, bronchi, lungs, alveoli. Role of nostril. The oxygen-rich air is taken in by the nostrils. The natural air contains about 21% oxygen and 0.03% carbon dioxide. The amount of oxygen is more in the air we breathe. Role of nasal cavity. The important job of nasal cavity is to moisten the air as it passes through the respiratory tract lined by mucus. It also traps the fine particles of dust or bacteria that have escaped from the fine hairs of the nasal cavity. The air from the bronchus then enters the bronchioles and the lungs. Role of larynx. The air is filtered by the fine hairs in the nasal cavity. This cavity also has a rich supply of blood vessels that keep the air warm. This air then enters the pharynx, then the larynx, and then the trachea. Role of trachea and bronchi. The trachea and bronchi are lined and with special secretory cells that secrete mucus. Mucus moistens the air as it passes through the respiratory tract and also traps any fine particles of dust and bacteria. Role of lungs, alveoli. Lungs are protected by the rib cage that helps the lungs to pump air in and out when we breathe. The right lung is bigger with 3 lobes and the left lung is slightly smaller as it has only 2 lobes. This is the pair of lungs that we have in our chest cavity. The lungs also have blood vessels that carry oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Lungs are the spongy and elastic organs that are broad at the bottom and tapered at the top. They consist of numerous air sacs called alveoli. There are the 2 types of breathing which work for gas exchange in the lungs. They are in the respiration and expiration. Inspiration is the act of breathing in. Expiration is the act of breathing out. On average, it takes 2 seconds for breathing in or 3 seconds for breathing out. Oxygen is absorbed by the alveoli and soon it is picked up the blood. Hemoglobin is a red pigment of blood which combines with oxygen and carries it into the cell. On the other hand, carbon dioxide is picked up from all the body parts and is even transported by the blood to alveoli. During expiration, carbon dioxide-rich air is given out from the alveoli. Let us brief you about the breathing. The number of times a person breathes in a minute is called breathing rate. An adult person breathing rate at least is 15 to 80 times per minute. It increases during heavy exercise and slows down when you sleep. Spirometer. The volume of air inspired and expired by the lungs is measured by a spirometer. The spirometer is used to rate the amount of air that is breathed in or out over a specified period of time. How a spirometer works. In a spirometer test, we breathe into a mouthpiece that is connected to an instrument called a spirometer. Facts do you know? The average person takes in 21,600 breaths per day. Signing or yawning is a sign that you are not getting enough oxygen. How the body removes its waste product by percent: breathe 70%, skin 20%, urine 7%, faces 3%. Let's recall. 1. Breathing is a physical movement associated with the gaseous exchange. 2. Respiratory system consists of nostril, nasal cavity, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and lung alveoli. 3. Inspiration is the act of breathing in and expiration is the act of breathing out. 4. The volume of air inspired and expired by the lungs is measured by a spirometer. Word power. Cavity, a hollow space. Epiglottis, the thin elastic cartilaginous structure located at the root of the tongue. Exchange, the act of substituting one thing in the place of another. Organ, the internal part of our body. Rib cage, the enclosing structure formed by the ribs and the bones. Train your brain. Cross curriculum connect. 1. Answer the following questions in short. A. Define the following in one line. 1. Deoxygenated. 2. Bacteria. 3. Fungi. 4. Aloe vera. 5. Spirometer. 6. Hemoglobin. 2. Fill in the blanks. A. The air sacs in the lungs are called dash. 2. The volume of air that a human breathes in out of lungs while at rest is measured by dash. C. The natural air consists about dash % oxygen. D. The act of breathing in is known as dash. E. Blood has a red pigment which is known as dash. F. The number of times a person breathes in a minute is known as dash. 3. Answer the following questions. A. Which organs are associated with the process of respiration? B. What is the breathing rate? C. Define respiration. D. Why are the sizes of two lungs different? E. State the function of fine hair present in the nasal cavity. 4. Tick the right and cross the wrong statements. A. Respiration in plants is called breathing. B. Both the lungs are equal in size. C. The blood vessels are responsible for the delivery of oxygen to the tissue. D. The air from trachea enters the lung. E. The nasal cavity is used to filter air through fine hair. 5. Multiple choice questions. A. A physical movement associated with gaseous exchange is called dash. 1. Respiration. 2. Circulatory. 3. Coronary. 4. Spirometer. B. The total surface area of the lungs is dash. 1. 70 square meters. 2. 70 square meters. 3. 60 square meters. 4. 50 square meters. C. The system used to measure the volume of air inspired and expired is known as dash. 1. Spirometer. 2. meter. 3. Circulatory. 4. Regulatory. D. The respiratory system consists of dash. 1. Nasal cavity. 2. Mouth. 3. Circulatory system. 4. Internal respiration. E. The act of breathing in is called dash. 1. Inhaling. 2. Respiration. 3. Exhaling. 4. Circulatory. 6. Give one word for each one of the following. 1. The oxygen-rich air taken in and out is known as. B. The cage used to protect lungs is known as. 7. Match the columns. Column A. Right lung. B. Expiration. C. Left lung. D. Yawning. E. Inspiration. Column B. 1. Lack of oxygen. 2. Breathing in. 3. Bigger. 4. Breathing out. 5. Smaller. Activity time. To prove that the water vapors are also given out during breathing, breathe out some air from your mouth on a clean mirror. What do you observe? Write it in your notebook. Thoughts. 1. The high levels of activity led to a greater demand for oxygen. An increased rate of breathing justify. 2. What is called the kiss of life during an emergency? Project time. Record your breathing rate under different conditions. Ask your teacher to record breathing rate by holding your breath. Now record breaths of your two classmates and make a chart. Now go for a 2 minutes running walk and again record your breaths. Repeat this with your two classmates also. What do you conclude?